Getting down to business, Rhys Iorwerth announces who'll have the top jobs in his government as the era of Plaid in power begins.
A government for all the people of Wales, answerable only to the people of Wales.
The remortgaging nightmare. Gabriella's out of pocket after the law firm she was using went bust. What should you do if you're in the same boat? The boost in boozers, with around 2 pubs closing every day in the UK. Why is Wales bucking the trend? We'll be finding out. And Marvellous Milo, the Labrador, wagging his tail on the wards, brightening the days of hospital patients. Hello, good evening to you. It was down to business for the new First Minister today, and the first job on his to-do list was to appoint his new cabinet. Among those given briefs are Sioned Williams as Deputy First Minister, Elin Jones as Cabinet Minister for Finance, and Mabon ap Gwynfor, who takes on health. Rhys Iorwerth said his team would bring new energy, new ideas and a new direction to the way Wales is led. Our national correspondent Rob Osborne has been following the cabinet announcement and sent this report.
The Welsh Government is under new management. And as the morning unfolded, Rhys Iorwerth summoned his new cabinet.
What job we have to see?
Then, on the steps where Labour government after Labour government once stood, new faces from a new party. Next, to a new First Minister.
Now, we fully understand the enormity of the task at hand, due to the depths of the challenges we inherit from the past governments. But we will bring new impetus in facing up to those challenges. My government will believe in the art of the possible.
Having waited 100 years for this moment, the new Plaid Cymru government has a 100-day plan of action. Former leader Adam Price takes on the economy. In his in-tray, beginning the process of establishing a new national development agency, which the new government says will help businesses secure trade and investment. Set up a town centres task force to explore the options for reformed business rates. But the new government will have to react to events, with global economic pressures pushing up the cost of living. The title of Cabinet Secretary has gone, so Mabon ap Gwynfor becomes Health Minister, a department with 2 deputies. Plaid's election made much about improving the NHS. Waiting lists have been coming down. They'll want to keep that going in the right direction. Longer term, expect the establishment of an independent review on the performance of the NHS. Work will also begin on establishing 10 new elective hubs around Wales. Newly elected Anna Brychan becomes Education Minister. The former boss of the Head Teachers Union knows parents want better standards. On her list, developing a new literacy and numeracy plan for schools. Plans to give local authorities the power to restrict the use of smartphones in schools for under 16s. And she will have to develop Plaid's plan to get more teachers in schools.
Our viewers watching this right now may have elected Plaid Cymru government, may have voted Plaid Cymru for the first time. How will their lives look different in 100 days?
Well, I think we've set out clearly in the 100 Days Plan, that was the whole purpose of doing it really, is to show how we were going to take action immediately on those priorities that we spelt out so clearly during the election campaign and over the past year when we've been putting forward our policy offer.
These are bright days for Plaid Cymru, but the honeymoon may be short-lived if voters don't see the changes they were promised in the election.
Rob is at the Welsh Government headquarters for us at Cathays Park. Rob, lots of new faces, and as you laid out, they've got lots to get their heads around, haven't they?
They certainly have, Andrea. This is the full list. And what's striking when I look at it is that some members of the government, this new government, weren't even elected a week ago. They're very new to elected politics. Only one, Ellen Jones, has any previous ministerial experience. She was, of course, until yesterday, the Llywydd. But I talked about difficult decisions. One of those difficult decisions will be whether pylons will be built in mid-Wales. Adam Price has been appointed. His official title is Enterprise, Connectivity and Energy Minister. He is a vocal critic of the idea of building pylons. Maybe that's an early indication of some of the decisions and how they'll be arrived down the line.
Rob Osborne, thank you. Well, it's been another busy day at the other end of the M4, with King Charles delivering his King's Speech, setting out the government's plans for new laws over the next parliamentary session. All of this, of course, against the backdrop of a leadership crisis for Keir Starmer, who is fighting to stay on as Prime Minister. Gwenan Campbell is in Westminster for us tonight. Good evening, Gwenan. So talk us through the day's events there.
Well, it's not ideal timing for Keir Starmer, Andrea. The formal opening of Parliament, and the Prime Minister is fighting for his leadership. Now, it's been a day full of pomp, but also of policy too. King Charles delivered his speech in front of the House of Lords earlier today, written by the government, outlining the agenda for the next year or so. Now, that including measures to control the cost of living, strengthening ties with Europe. There were also talks about reforming the police and the immigration systems too. But there was also an announcement on nationalising British Steel, something the Prime Minister mentioned in his speech on Monday. But the big question everyone has been asking today, Andrea, is whether Keir Starmer can hold on to that job long enough to be able to deliver those reforms. Now, someone perhaps that could answer that question for us is Joe Stevens, the Secretary of State for Wales. Now, what did you make of the King's speech today? What was in that for Wales?
So the speech today is all about economic security, energy security, national security, and of the 35 bills in that programme, 30 of them will apply to Wales, either all or in part. I was really excited by what we've got there. This is about creating a stronger, fairer country for everybody, but particularly spreading wealth and opportunity, especially for young people.
Now, we've got to talk about the disastrous election results for Labour last week. You lost power in the Senedd after 27 years. You lost your leader, Eluned Morgan. Who's to blame for all of that?
We are a Labour team, so there's no apportioning blame to a single individual or a group. We are a Labour team, we fight elections together, we win them together, and we win a lot of them. Last week we had really bad results, and we all take responsibility for that. But the point now is to listen to the electorate in Wales. They were telling us something very clearly last week. We've got to rebuild the party, we've got to renew the trust with the voters, and I think in 4 years' time we will have got to a position, I hope, where we can get back into power in the Senedd.
In the media this week, you blamed the outgoing Welsh Labour government for the results. Do you stand by that?
I didn't blame the Welsh Labour government for the result. What I've just said is the whole Labour team fights elections together. We were criticised by the electorate and rejected by the electorate for things, here in UK Parliament, the mistakes we've made, but also people frustrated with what was happening in Wales as well. We all take responsibility for it, we rebuild together and we return to power together.
Now, the Prime Minister Keir Starmer has been under a lot of pressure this week. Do you stand by him?
Absolutely, absolutely. He is going nowhere. So as far as I'm concerned, he is getting on with the job, delivering for the country. As a member of the Cabinet, I am playing my role in that, delivering for the people of Wales, working with the new government in Cardiff Bay to make sure, what they want to do is deliver for people in Wales. We want to do exactly the same here, and we'll be working closely together to do that.
Joe Stevens, thank you very much for joining us. Well, there we go, Andrea. We'll have to wait and see how things unfold here in Westminster.
Gwenan with Joe Stevens there in London. Thank you. A family from Barry who say they have been left thousands of pounds out of pocket after a collapse of a large law firm say more support is needed for those affected. Gabriella Smith was in the process of remortgaging her family home when PM Property Law went bust, forcing them to have to borrow money from family. Our Consumer Affairs correspondent Kate Lewis has been to meet her to find out more about her situation and what advice there is for those who find themselves in this position.
Gabriella has spent hours trying to figure out how something as straightforward as a remortgage could go so wrong. It follows the collapse of PM Property Law, a large solicitors firm based in Sheffield. At the time the firm went bust, Gabriella was in the process of remortgaging her family home. She tells me she and her husband have been left in limbo, and it's proving to be confusing as well as costly.
We kept getting told that we'd need a solicitor to act on our behalf, to which I said to them, well, how do we get a new solicitor when we don't have the money to pay for a new solicitor?
Gabriella says they've been forced to borrow more than £4,000 from family to cover the cost, money they simply don't have. She says she's explained this to the SRA, the Solicitors Regulation Authority, but they've made it clear she will not be reimbursed, something which has left her angry.
This isn't our mistake that we've made. We haven't done anything wrong. We've always kept up with our mortgage payments. You know, we followed the procedure that we needed to follow to remortgage. And as far as we were concerned, everything was in place and everything had gone through just fine. So no, I don't feel that we should be out of pocket.
The collapse of this firm has left thousands of property transactions up in the air, with clients, home buyers and sellers all caught up in the fallout. Now the SRA are under pressure to explain how one of the UK's largest conveyancing firms was able to unravel so dramatically, and what measures it's putting in place to stop it happening again.
We are really holding the SRA to account now to ensure that it's really proactive in scrutinising firms that it knows pose a risk to consumers. For example, firms that have grown rapidly through the acquisition of other firms. The SRA needs to get into those areas and look really carefully to ensure consumers are protected.
The Solicitors Regulation Authority say while they can't comment on individual cases, they are continuing to support those affected. They go on to say that investigation into PM Law Limited involves a sophisticated suspected fraud involving the improper removal and misuse of around £39.5 million of client funds, and is one of the largest and most complex cases ever undertaken. For Gabriella, she says what's happened will have a lasting impact.
I guess I still feel very betrayed that we put our trust into a solicitor, and I guess that's what you do. You put your trust into solicitors and hope that they will do the job that you're paying them to do. And I think the fact that that wasn't done and that we've been left in this situation, I feel very frightened that, you know, in 2 years' time, we're due to remortgage again. And the thought of that just makes me so anxious.
The collapse of this firm has not only left Gabriella and thousands of others in a worse place financially, but fighting for answers as to how something on this scale was simply able to happen.
Well, Kate, it's a shocking story, something you think won't happen. Is there anything people can do to protect themselves from this sort of thing happening to them?
Well, look, Andrea, what's happened here, it's on a scale that is unprecedented. PM Law Group was made up of 11 companies and more than 30 different trading names. So, yes, I really do want to reassure people tonight. You know, I've spoken to somebody who's been a mortgage advisor in this industry for more than 30 years. You know, he said to me he's never known anything like this in that time. And I started off by asking him, how protected are we?
They are protected, and the first thing they should do if they've gone through a mortgage advisor like myself is get in touch with them. You know, we've got people we can speak to at the bank, the Building Society, to help out. Also speak to their bank and inform them. And lastly, there is regulation in place. So myself, mortgage advisor, so we've got the Financial Conduct Authority who will step in and put things right if necessary.
So hopefully that will offer a bit of reassurance. Also, the SRA, the Solicitors Association there, they do also have a compensation fund. So they are working through the complaints to do with PM Law Group. But if anyone out there does feel that they have been impacted, then it is worth obviously looking into that too. And we have the Financial Ombudsman. Reach out to people. And of course, you can also reach out to us, consumer.wales@itv.com.
Lots of things to do. Kate, thanks very much indeed. Well, thanks for your company. Still to come on the programme tonight. What a load of rubbish. Catchers getting prepared with some scouts who have a messy mission in their sights.
Yes, they do. And we're not just talking a couple of them with litter pickers, we're talking quite a few. Are you excited?
And we've got some unseasonably but not unusually cold weather in the forecast over the coming days. Join me later to find out more.
All that coming up for you a little later on. First tonight, though, pubs are at the heart of many of our communities, but times have been tough for them, with 2 pubs closing every single day on average across the UK. But new figures show Wales is in fact bucking the trend, with more pubs opening here this year than anywhere else. So what is behind the boost in boozers? Megan Boot has been finding out.
For nearly 2 centuries, the Queen Inn has watched over Cwmbran. So how has it stayed when so many haven't?
And it's always been like a good popular pub for the locals, but about 4 years ago we turned the menu fully vegan, so now we've just reached so many more customers from like all across the UK, across the world. We have people travelling here, so it's amazing to see.
And do you think it's that niche that gives you that security for your business?
100%, yeah.
And it's meant for a popular lunchtime.
Well, it's my 61st birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. And I'm a fully fledged vegan and have been for many years, and it just has some of the best food ever here.
Are you a regular to this pub, or is this a sort of special visit?
It's a special visit. Because we travel around in a van in our motorhome. We've actually come down to Wales to have some jobs done on the van. So we've just come here for some lunch. We're here yesterday evening for a meal as well. Great food.
So is this your local?
It is my local, yeah.
What brings you here?
I like the company here. Nice and quiet, friendly. Enjoy it.
Last year, the equivalent of 1 pub every week closed in Wales. The industry battered by COVID and, of course, rising costs. But new figures suggest things are improving.
According to the British Beer and Pub Association, Wales has gained 3 pubs so far this year, whilst the rest of the UK has seen a decline.
We try and use as many of the Welsh products we can when it comes to anything that's new on
the
the
Croesel
menu.
Group employ more than 200 people, and this pub in Cardiff is one of the latest in their expansions.
When we hear it's so tough for the industry, why did you want to invest and actually grow the number of pubs that you've got?
It is confidence in what you're doing, confidence in what you're able to create. Look, picking the right site, picking the right people, and just having confidence in your knowledge of the area, so you know that they will come. You build it, they will come. One thing that we're really mindful of nowadays is the amount of money that the government's taking off us all the time, and they don't seem to understand that you've got to be able to invest. You've got to trust businesses, and in particular independent businesses, to invest in their businesses, to invest in their people.
The UK government say they back Britain's pubs with plans to build on their high street strategy. Whilst here in Wales, it's worth noting that Plaid Cymru promised to reform business rates in their manifesto. So, an industry thirsty to grow, but will conditions help or hinder? Megan Boot, ITV News in Cwmbran.
And now let's get a reminder of tonight's top story. The new First Minister, Queen Apioworth, has appointed his new cabinet. Among the chosen ministers are Mabon ap Gwynfor, the new Health Secretary, and Elin Jones, the previous Llywyd, who is now the new Finance Secretary.
Pace will be the hallmark of our work. Our principles will be our guides as we seek practical solutions to the issues faced by people and communities the length and breadth of our country.
And still to come on the ITV Evening News.
Coming up on the ITV Evening News, the PM says he has full confidence in Wes Streeting, despite reports of a leadership challenge, as the King made his speech to Parliament. The Parliamentary Standards Watchdog has launched an investigation into Nigel Farage over an undeclared £5 million gift. And the Princess of Wales begins her 2-day visit to Italy, her first overseas since her cancer diagnosis. Would you join me for those stories and more at 6:30?
Mary with you shortly with those stories. Now though, when scouts from Forest Vach took part in an overnight expedition in Port Talbot, they were shocked to find large amounts of litter along their walk. So in true Scouts style, they decided to take action, and tonight they're swapping their hiking boots for litter pickers and doing their bit to clean things up. Katia Fowler is with them at Brombill Reservoir this evening. So how's it going? It seems like a great idea, Katia.
My goodness, it's wonderful, isn't it? And I think the amount of children down here giving up their Wednesday evening really says it all. Now, we're not actually up at the reservoir yet. They've stopped here just to talk to us, a little pit stop, but they are still scouting around for any litter. But it seems like the problem is sort of up there. But to tell us a little bit more about it, I'm joined by Louise. Louise, this is wonderful to get so many children out and about doing this, but where did this all come from?
So Scouting is very much a youth-led organisation. So the ideas for this came from our scouts themselves. They were on expedition and they came up to the reservoir, and it was beautiful, but it was really spoiled by all the litter that would be left behind by everyone else.
For children to be able to sort of acknowledge and see that and think this isn't right really says it all, doesn't it, in terms of what litter does to an environment?
It really does. It spoils everything, and they, from the youngest squirrel to the largest scout, it's really lovely to see how being part of the Scouts is their place in the community, how they can make an impact.
Absolutely. Well, look, let's go and talk to some of them about what's going on. So good luck with the picking up there. Now, you three, a couple of you have already been up there just a little bit earlier on, and you found 4 bags full. I mean, did you believe there was going to be that much up there?
No, it was mind-blowing that there could actually be that much trash up there.
What's it like to sort of see that amount of rubbish in an area?
It's a shame, because it's such a beautiful place.
Yeah. And because you were one of the scouts who sort of saw this and thought, that's not right. So what did you think when you saw it for the first time? And so why did you think this was the way to do it?
I just thought when I first saw it, we need to clean it up. And then coming here today, it feels really like we're making a big difference.
And what is it like for all of you to be together? There are so many of you here. Do you feel like you're going to get the job done a little bit quicker?
Yeah.
Yeah? How quickly do you reckon you can get it done? You're going to set yourself a time target?
Hour or two.
Hour or two. So a little bit of your evening then. Well, look, good luck. We won't keep you up any longer. And I think we should let these scouts, squirrels, cubs, all of them head up to the reservoir so they can do their bit. So tell you what, should we wave them off? You're gonna head up there? Yeah. Look, good luck everybody. Say bye.
I hope Katia's got her own litter picker and bag there, and she's joining in too. She's nodding. Right, children being treated at Bronglace Hospital in Aberystwyth have been receiving visits from a very special member of the medical team. But it's not a doctor or a nurse, as you might think. It's a black Labrador called Milo, who's been brightening patients' days on his daily ward rounds. Lewis Rhys-Jones went to meet him and see him at work.
Smiles and cwtches are guaranteed when Milo's around. The 4-year-old Labrador has become a regular visitor at Bronglace Hospital. And it's fair to say the therapy dog lights up any ward he enters.
Milo's been coming here since he was quite young. He seems to be like a natural at just working out what patients need, kind of thing. So with some patients, he's just providing a hug and a bit of emotional support. With other patients, he can be a bit more playful, and it benefits patients of all ages, all different needs.
He's one of many therapy dogs that have become a common sight across Hywel Dda Health Board's hospitals.
Milo goes to various areas throughout the hospital. He does go to stroke ward, sometimes to intensive care, myriad ward. He can be down in A&E as well. So it's kind of developed since he started coming here, just finding his way up to the Howard ward. He's kind of met all these other people from different areas to benefit more people in Bronglace.
As much as it's nice for staff and patients, I'm sure Milo has a nice time too.
I hope so, yes. Yeah, he comes through the door wagging his tail, and he seems to be happy to be here. So yeah, he's a lovely dog and very much part of the team now, really, and we're all very fond of him.
Well, we've been hearing that Milo is very well liked and popular among staff at Bronglace Hospital, but he's even a bit of a celebrity with his own Instagram page. And I've just been hearing that the patients love him too.
I feel happy and joyful because he
I have a lot of dogs at home and I miss them, so he makes me happy.
Being here long term, it does affect your mental health, and it fills people with joy, you know, not just the young kids, to the elder generation as well. I think he has his place here, definitely.
And if Milo's happy, then chances are everyone around him is too. Lewis Rhys-Jones, ITV News, Aberystwyth.
They all look happy enough. It's weather time now. Here's Georgia Palmer.
Today's forecast: blue skies, followed by a spread of hot and cold plates. TUI sponsors ITV Cymru Wales weather.
Hello, good evening. Some very lively weather. Thundery showers and hail mixed in. The radar picture tells it really well, rattling through on a brisk west-northwesterly wind. And that pattern will continue for the coming days. It is going to feel unseasonably cold, not unusually cold. Of course, we are still in spring, but the changeable picture continues, and it is largely thanks to a strong northerly flow. At the moment now, we've got high pressure quite far out to the west, so not really having much of an influence on our weather, and low pressure over Scandinavia gradually pulling away. But as it does so, we are going to pick up more of a northerly flow. So yes, it is going to be pretty chilly over the next few days. Overnight tonight, though, those showers keep going, rattling through, clearing away southwards and eastwards. There will be some dry interludes in between, but with those brisk winds, which will gradually veer northerly, and the cloud cover, it will be a frost-free night with lows tonight down to 4 or 5 degrees. So for tomorrow, it is another lively setup. Low pressure still very much in charge. We can expect a rash of heavy, thundery showers gradually beginning to pull away. I'm hopeful that by later in the afternoon, particularly further north, there will be some dry and brighter spells, but the main feature tomorrow, the temperatures, as we pick up that strong northerly flow, it is going to feel unseasonably cold, as I mentioned, highs reaching 12 or 13. Really would expect to see them sitting near 16 at this time of year. But overnight, tomorrow night into Friday, a week rich of high pressure bills. So something more settled for the end of the week, more rain on Sunday. And I'm afraid the changeable pattern continues next week, but it will turn a bit milder.
TUI sponsors ITV Cymru Wales weather. Making the most of summer. Piri sponsors ITV pollen count.
Well, currently all pollen levels are low thanks to the fresh Arctic air and unsettled conditions. But a word of warning, the grass pollen season is just beginning to start.
Well, thank you very much for joining us this Wednesday evening. Hamish Auskeri will be back a little later with your update headlines. For now, though, from all of us, bye-bye.